Second graders, today we're going to start actually building our paper African mask out of construction paper. Last time we were here, we talked about how symmetrical is a main part and symmetry in African masks. So when we are building our mask, we need to keep in mind that all shapes are going to be symmetrical from one side to the other, with the line of symmetry going right down the middle. We also practiced drawing out some of our symmetrical African mask shapes. You can either use those that you drew last time, or you may also just, again, look at the handout that had a various amount of different African masks that you can look at to help you with your design. So this is kind of where we're going to leave off today. We're going to get our basic shapes cut out and glued on. And when we are done, we're going to make sure that we write our name on the back. Now, because we talked about how African masks are made out of wood, we are going to be using neutral colored paper. There's a bunch that you can choose from. And since we are making it symmetrical, I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm only going to draw out half of the shape of my head. So I can look at my handout and make a decision of what kind of shape I want to do. And I think I'm going to try with this long, narrow one here. So my fold is the middle. That's my line of symmetry. And I want to draw all the way down, and he's going to have a pointy chin. So I'm going to put it right to the tip like that. I'm going to keep it folded and cut on that pencil line. Now, if I wanted to do an ear, I could have added an ear here, which I think I'm going to do to keep that connected. Otherwise, you can glue on ears and horns and other things later, or you can keep it as one shape now. That's your decision on how you want to do it. These scraps we are going to use later. In fact, your whole table is going to share them. So I'm going to move it to the middle so that others can use them too. Now, when I open this up, it is already the same on both sides, which is fantastic. And I'm going to use other paper scraps to start building. And the first thing I want us all to start building with is the nose. So I'm going to take another piece of paper that's going to be smaller, and I'm going to choose black. And because, again, these are symmetrical, I am folding the paper in half. In fact, almost everything you do today is going to be folded in half. And to help me out, I'm going to keep it folded, and I'm going to line it up where I want it to go. And I'm going to draw out his eyebrow shape that comes down to his nose. So it's a whole shape, and I'm going to give him a nice nostril and an eyebrow, because that's what I want to do. And again, I'm going to keep it folded, and I'm going to cut it out. It's a little skinny. And then I'm going to open it up. And since it's right down the middle, we talked about how the line of symmetry for the nose is right down the middle. I'm going to glue that right down inside the middle of his face. Now it can be low or it can be high. I think I'm going to set it down pretty low. So I'm going to use a glue stick. I'm going to take it off my paper. The glue will dry clear, so even if it shows a little purple on it, just ignore it for now, because it will disappear once it is dry. And I'm going to line it up on that fold and press it down. So now what's really nice is I already have my eyebrows and my nose. So now I'm going to think about my eye shape. Again, I'm going to pick a different color. All of it is in the neutral family, so I've got some browns and some beiges. I'm going to take this peach color, and I'm going to fold it in half. So here's my peach color. I'm going to fold it in half. And again, I'm going to put it right here to kind of see how big I want my eye to be. And then I'm going to look at all of these eyes and see what eye I think will look best for my project. I like a nice big eye. I can always trim it down and make it smaller later if I don't like it. But I really wanted this to look big, so I'm drawing a big shape. I'm going to keep it folded. And then now when I remove it, I have two of the exact same shape. And the fun part is then think about how do you want to arrange it? Do I want them on an angle? Do I want them straight across like that? Do I want them curved down? That could be an option. Do I want them like this? That doesn't look very African mask-ish to me. I think I'm going to do it this way, right under the eyebrow. That's what I want to do. You do what works best for you. So I'm going to take some glue, flip it, and stick it, flip it, and stick it. Just like that. Then I'm going to move on to his lips. And I'm going to think about what color I want to use for his lips. I think I want to use a darker color. And this paper's too big, so I'm cutting it down. Lips, remember we talked about how half of the lip is on one side of the line of symmetry and half is on the other. So here's my folded paper. I'm only drawing half of the mouth. I'm going to make a wide open mouth instead of an actual lip. Again, doing what you want to do. And then when I open it up, yeah, I do like that. I think I'm going to turn it around though, and then glue that down. Flip and stick. When you get to this point, then you need to think about if you're going to do hair strips or horns or a hat or spikes. Those are often really fun to do too. A folded piece of paper is a good way to make sure that it's the same on both sides. So I already actually have a piece of folded paper and I really like horn shapes. So I'm going to draw a horn shape that's going to come off of his head, keeping it folded, cutting it out. I might have to trim this later. And then once I break them apart, I can think about how I want them to go. Do I want them to go like this? Do I want them, ooh, I like that. I think I'm going to do it like this, straight up, just like that. And then again, I'm going to flip it and stick it. From here, we're just going to keep on going and adding more details, making sure that what we do to one side, we do to the other side. So if I wanted to make shapes and decorations like I was doing for this one, I'll show you my other one that I was working on this morning. Now I'm at the point where I finished my lips, I finished my nose, my eyes. I made these horns here just out of scraps. And I also made these extended ear shapes with some rings. Now I'm just going to cut out some shapes and I'm going to add some details just to make it more decorative. I might want to put some lines on his eyes like that if I want to and glue those down. All sorts of possibilities of what you want to do.